What's up? Welcome back to Dark Mode, the show where we take stories from our listeners, and the best story of the day wins something. Today's winner is going to win $200, and every story we use is going to win something. They all get something. It's like, you may not get the girl that you really wanted, but you still end up with somebody.
Yeah.
And you end up being happy, I guess, right?
You might not get that oversized stuffed animal behind the counter, but you're going to get yourself a couple of wacky little like erasers that don't work.
That's right.
5 tickets a piece.
Today's story prompt, I'm here as always. Not as always. Most of the time.
Well.
With my co-host Casey and Olivia. Today's story prompt is most embarrassing food stories. We got a little extra funness today in this episode. Our producer, Bryson, say what's up to the people, Bryson.
What up, people?
There we go. Bryson is going to read our stories for us. So, story number 1.
Story number 1. Working at a steakhouse in Florida in college.
Hold on, Bryson. Hold on. We gotta smooth this out. You know the operation.
Story number 1.
Yeah.
7?
That was
I like that.
Okay.
it feels like
All right.
too gracious of you.
Go ahead, Bryson.
All right. Working at a steakhouse in Florida in college, a family of 4 came in, and as I was taking their drink order, they said, "Can we go ahead and get hot dogs for the children?" So in my mind, I was thinking, children. The mom then asks, "What's the alligator taste like?" And I looked at her dead in the eyes and replied, "It tastes like children."
It tastes like children. I like that. I like that quite a bit. A little misdirect.
I mean, look, I select the stories, so I know all of them are good, and I kind of forgot that one. And I was worried that I was like, oh, maybe we didn't get a lot of good. This is kind of like a meandering story a little bit, but great punchline.
That was good.
I like that one.
Tastes like the alligator tastes just like children. And they're like, we'll have 3 of the alligator, please.
Yeah.
They're like, interesting.
Well, actually, you can just fry these ones up then. If it's...
They're like, what kind? And she's like, what do you mean what kind? They're like, well, what kind of children does it taste like? Does it taste like fast kids, slow kids, slutty kids?
Kids, am I going to be hungry in another half hour? Right.
Yeah. Chubby kids, dumb kids. What kind of kids does it taste like?
Chubby kid, you get some nice marbling. I feel like it would be tender meat. So, yeah, that would be the preferred type of child to eat.
If you're... nope. I'm going to self-filter that joke, I think.
Yeah?
Let's not talk about maybe cannibalism, especially when it's children.
I don't know. I mean...
I was going to ask you, like, if you were going to eat a part of a human. Let's not say children. If you're going to eat a part of a human, what part?
I really prefer children to eat.
Yeah, they're more tender, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like veal versus lamb. I'd rather have veal.
Now you're thinking.
Right. If you were going to eat a part of another human, though, what part would you eat?
Well, okay, yeah, now... Yeah, the more specific we get, yeah, it being kids is kind of f***ed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the obvious answer is the butt. Like, it is just like the ham of the human.
It's just
Hammin, if you... The hume ham. The hume ham. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was it. I needed help there. Got in over my head. But I mean, doesn't that just seem like the right part to eat?
I think, yes. Okay.
Thigh.
I think, though, this, like, thumb right here.
Olivia, would you eat my ass?
I have and I will.
Yeah.
I have and I will.
Again, I mean, probably not the last time.
Well, I think that's what
Before this.
Well, it tastes good. It tastes good.
I think they say you're supposed to eat the rump if you're gonna eat.
You're going to eat a person.
Yeah, if you're gonna eat a person,
That's what
that
they
is
say.
what the book
What do you
says.
think
That's what the books about eating people say.
All the ones I've read.
What do you think
The books say? What? What books?
the soccer players that got trapped in the Andes?
Yeah.
Whatever, like what do you think?
Oh, they were eating booty. Yeah.
Yeah. They,
Well, okay, if you got to eat a lot of...
and then when people died, they would eat their glute muscles.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm thinking about it more like sampling a human, like just trying it.
Oh, try a different place here, different place there.
Well, I think you guys are thinking about it like, if I were to eat a human, obviously it would be a life or death situation. I think I'm more thinking like, maybe I'd just try human.
Yeah.
And if I were to just try human, I think this part of the thumb, it's like kind of like a drumstick.
Yeah, I
Oh,
get you.
A little drumsticky.
There's probably like a little nugget of like perfect meat in there somewhere.
Yeah. There's muscular stuff.
It's gonna be small. I'm not
No,
really,
but I'm not really trying to have a lot of human.
it's like the cashew kind of like, effort to like reward. Like you got to get in there. You're gonna have to break some thumbs. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to do some work to get
Yeah.
that tiny little.
Are you thinking pistachio?
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
No.
What did I say?
Cashew.
Definitely not a cashew. Cashews are easy.
Yeah.
Pistachio is exactly what I meant. You know the pistachios are there's no opening. You're like, this isn't even fair.
Yeah. Cashews are like Olivia. They're wide
They're
open.
hard as a rock.
They're easy.
Wide open.
Yeah, cashews.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pistachios, though, I don't know what they're like. Never met her.
They're hard.
Never met that girl.
Never mind. That was me in an alternate universe.
In a different timeline.
I feel like the thumb might be kind of like vein or like tendony.
Yeah,
or
a little
something.
sinewy.
Might be.
I don't know if any of this can go on YouTube, but, glad we got into it 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
right.
I would eat ass is the answer.
I already do, so I guess it makes sense. It's not a big jump.
Always.
You ready?
Always.
Story number 2.
That one was fun. That one was fun. I replaced the 7 from last time with this one. The last one got a 5.
Oh. I mean, I guess I didn't lose overall points. But
And now, okay.
interesting maneuver. I liked it.
Vamped.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bryson.
A little fancy footwork with the books.
Once I say go ahead, Bryson, you got to stop talking.
Don't know if I have that ability all the time, but okay.
Go ahead, Bryson.
And story number 2. I went to KFC one afternoon, the day after I had ate 6 boiled eggs and a can of tuna, because I was on a bulk and trying to eat a lot of protein. While I'm standing at the counter placing my order, I start getting the rumblies. I try to hold it in, but God said, "Let there be gas." I let it rip, silent but very deadly. At that exact moment, this woman storms in from the drive-thru with a messed up order. She slams the bag on the counter and yells, "Y'all got my order wrong." And then sniffs and goes, "It smells like in here. Just give me my money back."
This person knows how to tell a story.
Oh, that was good.
This person knows how to spin a yarn.
There were beats.
And the fact that it was a woman that said y'all makes me think this person's from the South, which is like such a classic
They got
thing.
black people everywhere, John.
I guess that's true. Could be a black lady. Could be a black lady. I guess you're thinking KFC. All right. Let's get stereotypical with it.
I mean, I was thinking Popeyes and nothing less.
It said KFC in the store.
I don't know, John. I don't pay attention to the details. You already know this.
Yeah, that's true. Smells like
Like Roscoe's.
she was gonna come in and say, "Hey, you got my order wrong. Fix it." And then she goes, "Nah,
Smells like
nah,
over here.
somebody shit in here. I don't trust it. Just take the food back and give me my money."
God, I was going to say if there's a place to do it, if that's going to happen, it's KFC. But Taco Bell would have been a more appropriate manner to...
That's fair. I mean,
If you're gonna, what's your top 5 restaurants you would fart in? You think? Let's stick to fast food-ish joints.
Taco
No
Bell.
nice establishments.
anywhere where there could be, maybe a nice establishment where there could be a stinky cheese.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay.
Like maybe an
what?
Italian spot. Like not every.
okay, all right. Yeah, but I already set the rules. It's fast food joints.
Fast food has no fancy cheeses.
No fancy cheeses in fast. I mean, if they have an aged cheese at fast food, you just shouldn't eat it.
Jack in the Box might have some kind of like seasonal like Asiago burger or something.
True.
But
But Jack in the Box is nice. You don't want to rip in there.
Jack in the Box bathroom's not nice.
Okay. So is Jack in the Box in the top 5?
I don't know. As soon as we start talking about farts and poops and stuff, I'm thinking bathroom vibes is really what it's about.
Right.
So
you said McDonald's, Taco Bell.
What about Arby's?
Arby's is fartable.
Yeah.
Lots of meat there.
Yeah.
It's like, meat could make you fart.
All that roast beef.
Yeah. No, Arby's, that could be in there. I think, and I'm going to throw a little curveball here, A&W's are usually pretty trashy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. At least most of the ones I've been to. Maybe there's A&W's somewhere.
I don't know that I've been to an A&W that's not a combo W.
Exactly. And it's like usually in a gas station or it's comboed with KFC or it's,
Yeah.
Carl's Jr.
Yeah, you can't. He's not even like the most notable Carl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can fart in your establishment. It's not a Hardee's.
Keep you humble. Hardy.
Who is the most famous Carl?
Carl Hardy.
That sounds wrong.
Hardee's
Carl Hardy.
Hardee's is the restaurant that is Carl's Jr.
But who is the most famous Carl is the real question.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't get past
Karl
Karl Yastrzemski.
Karl Malone?
Malone.
Yeah.
Probably more famous than Yaz.
Yeah. Carl. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know all the famous Carls out there. I'm sure I'm missing one.
Pretty popular with the preteens.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Famously popular with a 12-year-old or something.
A few of them.
Yeah.
He got it in.
That was in your state.
No, it was all before he was ever a
Was it?
professional basketball player. He was like not.
I think he had an illegitimate.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Into the NFL too. I think if I recall.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is that it was like he had illegitimate kids, but it wasn't. He never, as an adult, was like with.
Yeah, are you saying basketball players have children that they aren't claiming?
I mean, I think only Karl Malone. He's the only one.
Probably. What a character, that guy.
All right, Casey, you ready?
I suppose so.
Story number 3.
Simple, easy, 6.
Okay.
I like how quick you're rifling this out, and I like
I'm right in.
just locked in.
Story number 3. My friend and I were hitchhiking the Pacific Coast.
It was a very specific Pacific Coast.
It was specifically on the Atlantic Ocean.
The Pacific Coast, and a lady asked if we would like to come to her place. Because she just made a pot of split pea soup, we were short on cash, so we took her up on it. Only to wake up chained to a wall in her basement, with a ball gag in our mouth and a butt plug up our asses. Soup was good, though.
Multiple questions. First of all, split pea sounds like a sexual innuendo. She wants you to split her pea.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't sound like what this lady wanted. It sounded like what this lady wanted was something different.
she wanted to split their peas.
Yeah.
But this person also, and I mean, hey, I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi. I'm just trying to get the details right. I believe this person, assuming Bryson didn't misread it, which I can't even fathom that as a possibility.
Did they dangle a participle?
No, they said that between them and their friend, they had a butt plug shoved up their butts.
I also
It
asked.
sound like there's a double-sided butt plug and they're butt to butt
Correction,
to a wall.
they said our mouth and a butt plug.
Gags, a gag in our mouth,
Peed in reverse.
a gag in our mouth, and a butt plug up our asses. A single butt plug up our plural asses.
I don't know if that does anything for you guys, but that just...
I have the same. I heard the same thing, and I have the same question. I'm gonna assume that it was probably just them not getting the plurals right.
Well, you know what they say when you assume you get a butt plug shoved up your ass.
You think it's just split pea soup. That yeah. And you know that I do change the details in these stories sometimes to protect identities, but I that might have just been something I missed. So that might be something normally. Okay, a little behind, how the sausage is made here. That's the kind of thing people misspell or misdo. Like they get that kind of thing wrong a lot, and I'll fix it.
Butt plugs.
Yeah. Like they'll say butt plug up our asses, and I'm like fairly certain they meant butt plugs up our asses. But I mean, maybe they purposely...
Creates less of a visual when you say that, though.
Do you think this story's true? Because if it is, this is the funniest story, for sure.
I think this is the most fake story we've ever had.
I feel like I just listened to the plot of Pulp Fiction or something.
How they skipped over a whole swath of it, like where I can't even get like.
They go back to her house.
How did they get?
They eat the soup. They're like, "Oh,
They get
delicious
drugged?
soup, lady," and then they just wake up like,
Yeah. I feel like this would need either like it's fake in some way or another.
Well, do we penalize it for being fake though? We don't really. We're like, yeah, if it's well written, if it's funny, that's fine.
We do because last episode we had an example where it's like we were kind of talking like they don't get penalized for it being fake, but like specifically when we can't tell really that it's fake. When it feels fake, I think that's when you do start to go like maybe you lose some points there because it reads as fake.
Or this story is real and this person deserves to win because they've been through some
Unbelievable.
shit.
I was gonna say they made it out.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
This person's like, I'm
don't know.
still there. Please come get me.
Submission from heaven.
Yeah. Hitchhiking up the Pacific Coast. It's dangerous stuff. Don't take split pea soup.
I'm curious who the butt gremlin was who submitted this.
I do have their name and city. So
Does it start with an N?
what, their city or their name?
Either.
What would you do with it if their name did?
You know?
Why are you afraid?
You're like, oh, I know
Why are you afraid to tell me?
You're like, I know a guy named Noah that this happened
I'm
to.
afraid I'll figure it out.
Noah from New Jersey.
Let's just say this.
Johnson
Yeah.
Holdings.
How about this? Their name starts with an N. Yeah.
Interesting.
And they you have no follow up?
Oh, that tells me a lot, but I don't want to give you guys
Right.
the benefit of knowing what I know now.
And why?
Well, because it's something I know.
Right. And how would that benefit you in this podcast?
You'd have to have the context of knowing what I know to understand that.
Got you.
Which I won't.
Will you at some point in the future reveal it?
Yeah, as soon as you forget about it, I will definitely remember to tell you.
Okay, great. What story number are we on?
That'd be story 4.
Okay. Ready? Story number 4.
That one was, I really enjoyed that one. That's a 7.
She liked it.
I like that one.
She likes it a little bouncy.
What was the 8? Do you remember the 8?
No.
It was like a,
Something like that.
it definitely had a,
Skid at top. Skid at the.
at the end.
No, it
Yeah.
was skid at the.
It was a
that-
little Doug.
I like that one.
The end of Doug.
That one just felt fun, like Cry Dead.
Yeah.
It would have gotten an 8, but then I got insecure about John's face after it.
I know. I saw you see me, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Down a peg.
Yep.
I noticed you noticing me.
Story number 4.
Story number 4. For the most embarrassing story, can we consider food and water? I was 10 years old. My little brother was 5. I came in after playing basketball all afternoon long, hot, sweaty, and parched. I saw a cup of water on the kitchen table, and it was cold. I could see the condensation beads all over the outside of the cup. I drank it down greedily. So refreshing.
Water slut.
I needed that. And then my mother said, "You know, your brother got that out of the toilet bowl."
A 5-year-old boy. That actually, nope, that checks. That seems like it could be 100% true.
Yeah.
Greedy little turd sucker.
I just came in from playing basketball outside. Oh, hey.
Who was 5 in this? I wasn't paying
The
attention.
little brother was 5, he said.
That
So
checks
he's
out.
10 years old. He's been outside playing basketball all day. Comes in. Oh, look at that. Delicious, a big, delicious water on the table in a condensating glass.
Nice.
And he drinks it, and then his mom goes, "It's toilet water."
This is 100% on the mom.
Yeah, I was
What is
gonna
she
say,
doing?
why did
Oh,
Mom
no.
know
Listen.
that was there?
Listen, as a parent,
You were hoping this
I
happened.
think mom was just watching.
Yeah. Mom's a sadist.
Mom was like,
Her pushing the
"What's
cup.
going to happen here?"
Yeah.
Or this is a real story. So I'm not going to say this is not a fake. This is a fake story. But here's another. As a parent, it wasn't out of the toilet. Mom was
Probably not.
fucked,
Yeah, probably.
which is also kind of hilarious. That he wrote this in. He's like, 20 years later, I can't forget it.
Yeah.
And Mom's like, "Oh yeah,
Mom's a real practical
I
jokester.
don't even remember that."
Fresh out the tap.
Yeah, I kind of like this more now that Mom is maybe like,
Senile now, and she believes it too. She's like, yeah, I don't know why I let you do that. It's pretty messed up.
I don't know.
I don't think I ever really loved you as a kid.
Yeah, you were kind of a sucky kid, and I was hoping to just maybe take a mulligan.
I was just watching your forum, and it was terrible. And I thought, you know what? Like, if he can't make a jumper, he needs to drink toilet water. So
Yeah,
the little brother isn't even the one who got it out of the toilet. It was
Yeah.
the mom.
sink water. Sink water's for winners. Okay,
Yeah.
toilet you can drink out of the toilet. I saw you lose your one-on-one game to the neighbor girl.
I saw you lose a one-on game to yourself earlier.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think Mom was in on it.
The condensation of the cup. I didn't think toilet water got that cold. So,
I think, regardless of
Good point. You're making a lot of good points.
and my expertise of toilet water and drinking
How often do you touch toilet water?
at least 3 times a day.
Okay, so you'd be, I mean, probably the biggest expert here, probably on toilet water. Then
she's the biggest one I
I
know.
don't like to brag.
is it because your gigantic just always hangs down in there?
Take a dip every
And
morning.
you're like, and it's not cold.
She grossed herself out.
It's just
She found her own limits.
hit the ceiling.
What and you don't, when the head or half the shaft in your case drops in there, you're not like, "Oh, that's cold." You don't say that.
Ooh,
She goes, ooh,
mamacita. Maybe first thing in the morning if I'm a little chilly, but I really don't think it's like that cold to produce condensation.
polar plunge a different meaning.
Yeah.
So either what happened was Mom just lied to him, or 5-year-old little brother got water out of the toilet, went to the fridge and put ice in it, like from the ice machine or the freezer, and put ice in it. That is something 5-year-olds can do, especially if you got one of the push ice machines. And he's like, "Ice water from the toilet," and then he put it on the counter. He's like, "Okay, I did that. That project's done now.
Well,
On to the next project."
Strikes me as a story coming out of one of the Carolinas. Not sure which yet, but
Like Carolinas.
probably one of the Carolinas.
Sure, yeah. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna play at UNC or Duke one day."
Maybe. That's what they think, but they're definitely not going to. They might walk
Some of them do.
They might walk on and play about 4 minutes total,
Michael Jordan did it.
then get cut. That's about it.
He's from Carolina. He's from North Carolina. Played at North Carolina.
Yeah, this isn't Michael Jordan's story, I promise.
You don't think his 5-year-old brother did that to him?
He's more likely to be the 5-year-old brother, I think.
That's, yeah. You're making good points. All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Story number 5.
4.
I like that. I think you needed to hit the bases harder though.
Oh, that would have taken it to not 4.
Yeah.
I didn't do proper like beatboxing. Not that I
No.
can. That makes it sound like that's an option, but
I know that's true.
it was just noises.
Yeah.
Every time you ask me, I was never gonna say no, even though I might not be really ready.
All right. Try story number 5.
Big bus.
5.
All right, Bryson, hit it.
I mean, I had to do 2 that time.
Low scores that time.
Oh, jeez.
Number 5. My brother and I were on our way to Blockbuster after eating some Applebee's. We were going to rent some movies, and the entire way there, we were playing the infamous fart game. We'll get to the video store and crouch down, reading the back of the DVD, when I heard a fart, and I replied, "Damn, dude, you stink," and then looked up, and it wasn't my brother-in-law. It was a guy in a suit.
Nice. Hell yeah.
The infamous fart game.
I believe this one.
Yeah, everybody knows.
They fart at each other.
You farting all the time.
It's just a game where you fart.
Battle shit.
Ends up in shits a lot.
I believe
Yeah.
that. I'm surprised there aren't any in your pants stories yet. We've had a shit your pants story on other episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even have to do with these kinds of prompts.
Yeah, this is food. This is most embarrassing food stories.
Well, I don't know if you know about this, but food turns into
Again, there's tons of your pants stories in the submissions that had nothing to do with food. They just told a your pants story.
right.
I'm like, well, you got to integrate the food somehow.
And we've had multiple fart stories now.
Yeah, so I weeded out a lot of the ones that didn't include the food. This guy barely included the food. He said we ate at Applebee's.
Yeah.
By the way, Applebee's and Blockbuster sounds like a great day.
Yeah.
Sounds like an incredible night, you know?
Sounds like I know exactly when this happened.
Yeah, I know. And it's bringing me back, honestly. I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to go to Applebee's after this, and then I want to go to a Blockbuster and rent a movie.
This is right around Y2K.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I can picture this happening. I can picture the, like, in my brain, this is happening in the Applebee's and Blockbuster in our hometown. They're nearby each other. You drive from one to the other, fart at each other in the car.
This dude was rocking layered, like, puka shell necklaces, a
Yeah.
string band.
Yep.
His
Oh, yeah.
girlfriend had, like, multiple tank tops on.
Yeah, like 4 tank tops. She had jeans that were really big at the bottom and always wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sit around in puddles and gigantic jeans.
On
Yeah.
the ground. Hell
Yep.
yeah. Hell yeah. She had a nose stud for sure.
A little bit of bangs right here she had probably.
Yeah, probably. Probably a little bit of that.
He might have worn Affliction at some point, not right here, but later.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, this story brought me back. It was funny. It was very simple, but I enjoyed it. I
I
think.
believe it. I like it. I think that's bigger for me than you guys. I really believe this one.
I don't think that's so big for me. I think if it's funny, and I think this is what why I'm saying this is because I think a lot of people are deterred from submitting their stories because they're like, I don't really have a good one or something like that. I'm like, you can still try and write something funny. That's fine.
That's true. I just don't want a story that misrepresents itself. You know what I mean? I would rather manufacture a whole thing than like a half truth where you're really like exaggerating.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate you even like giving us the wink like it's obviously not true.
Yeah. Like basically you're saying, do what I do.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Of course. But is that the point? Yes. But are we going to move on and forget about that? No. But we'll move on anyway.
So far, what's kind of tickling you as the best story of the group?
Liv?
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah, remind me on a few.
So far, we've got Blockbuster farts. We've got toilet water. We've got hitchhiking, split pea soup.
Oh, yeah. We were hitchhiking then. Yeah.
We've got KFC farts. And then we got working in a state. Oh, alligator tastes like children.
Oh, that one was
That one was pretty funny. That had a great punchline.
The KFC and the children, the alligator one is.
I think the split pea soup, I think, is funny because it's like probably made up, like you said. But I'm like, if that's true, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the craziest story we could have possibly gotten. If it's
I got Taste Like Children in the one spot right now. I got Split Pea in 2, and the one you just did is the 3 right now.
okay,
I got the toilet water nowhere close, not sniffing it.
not even sniffing.
Yeah. I just the split pea one really like I cannot wrap my head around that is actually true and happened.
That's what I mean.
But that one's
It feels like an elaboration on something that did happen to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you tell two truths and a lie, and the best way to tell two truths and a lie is to lie about something that's almost true.
yeah.
Like, I swam in college. I ran track in college. It's almost true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
That-
just even if you're just going to consider it as a tiebreaker, I'm like, okay, if you think this and the Taste Like Children story are similar, that one and that one, I mean, it feels like the nod goes to the one that feels more accurate and true, like, and kind of a representation of what actually happened.
Yeah.
That's
What does- Do you know what alligator does taste like? Does it taste like children?
Well, no, I think the whole thing is that like people assume or have been told
Alligator tastes like children?
that it tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
Like,
chicken.
He was going to say it tastes like chicken.
Oh.
That's the whole.
I get it.
Because when lots
Yeah,
of
even Bryson stumbled on it. He almost said chicken.
lots of meats taste like. I think Bryson, was that written like that, and that's why you said that? Was there something to that? Because I almost thought that was.
It was written children, but I was about to say chicken because I know it tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
you
It's
know,
written
well, that's what they say about stuff that like it's just like a lot of stuff tastes like chicken. I was gonna say, you know,
chicken of
well,
the sea.
I don't know. Do you know what doesn't taste like chicken? Delicious royal bagels with only 70 to 80 calories
murder you in your sleep. You're sleeping in my house tonight.
and like 9 grams of fiber, 10 grams of protein. Maybe I got those reversed, but lots of fiber and like 32 grams of
I
fiber.
would live a healthy life off those royal bagels if he survived tonight. But
You
he's
know,
not gonna.
there's lots of protein in them.
Is murder okay on YouTube? Are we allowed to talk about murder?
There was a guy earlier who he was real farty, and because he was farting a lot because he was eating so much protein because he was on a bulk. And I was just saying,
Needs more fiber.
he needs more fiber to offset the protein. And also, if he would have just eat the royal bagels, they also have a lot of protein. So 2 birds. And
Protein gives you farts too.
yeah, no, but I'm saying the fiber offsets. You know what I mean? I actually don't know if the fiber offsets. I'm just saying, you know, another way to get your protein is in a delicious royal bagel. So you're not just eating hard-boiled eggs and tuna and KFC.
Forgot about the intro to that too.
Hard-boiled eggs and tuna farts.
Hard. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad fart.
that won't happen with royal bagels.
It won't. Yeah, no, if you do get the farts from it, it won't smell like boiled eggs. I mean, I can't guarantee that, obviously, but it's not a boiled egg, so I'm going to assume it won't smell like boiled eggs and tuna combined.
What if you made a hard-boiled egg and tuna sandwich between royal bagel?
You know, then you might have a fart that smelled like that, but, you know, the royal bagel, maybe it offsets them. I don't know.
At that point, you're playing with fire. That's on you. You attempted fate.
If you ate tuna and eggs together, you know, I think you knew what you did.
I think you deserve to have what happens next.
You know,
you're a real piece.
you know what you did. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a real low-class individual.
Yep.
You piece of human garbage. No, I'm sorry. I have anger issues.
Casey, that was my write-in.
Yeah.
Then I mean it double.
Protein. Yeah, Liv was on a bulk. She was bulking up for,
You know,
yeah.
Yeah, look at those bad boys.
Yeah. I don't, know what your workout routine is, Liv. We haven't talked about that. We're not close like that.
we ain't on that intimate yet.
I'm gonna almost guarantee it involves no bulking. There's no bulking in it.
Let's see it.
I don't think that there's any upper body lifting at all.
It always goes to
Her thighs look pretty bulky, honestly.
pretty bad. You seen these kneecaps?
Yeah, those thighs will crush your head.
You can hear the jiggling sound coming before you even see her coming.
I've been known to crush a watermelon
Yeah.
before, so
Actually, that would be really
idea.
I'll show you guys that in the parking lot.
party. So can you
You
imagine that?
keep a watermelon in the trunk, 3 or 4 at least,
Keep 3 in my car.
Yeah, at all times. Yeah.
You could crush a watermelon with your thighs, wouldn't you? I would.
I've seen women crush them with their boobs.
What? Well, no. What?
You've seen that video?
I'll pull up the vid right now.
Right. Seen it. Somebody's got my back here.
Okay. I mean, I guess we're gonna watch it. but
Yeah,
it's
she
just-
had very, very big, voluptuous breasts.
She's well endowed.
And the watermelon's on the table, and she just flops it down.
One boob.
One boob.
One tit.
One tight.
Tit versus watermelon.
Girls don't like the word tit.
One tit.
You don't. It doesn't sound right coming out of
for
your
me,
mouth.
so I didn't feel
Titty.
it was right for me to use it. But
What about
He earned it.
titty. I never say titty.
Girls don't use.
Titty.
You just say boob exclusively. Is that
Oh, a
like?
boob.
Yeah.
Boob.
Titty is such a better word.
I don't know. The girls are the new guys. Like, I don't know. Girls are just, I don't know. Titty feels like it should be more of a girl word. It sounds like if you didn't have any context,
more petite for
it
sure.
rhymes with pretty.
Yeah, a woman. Look, if a woman who can crush a watermelon with her boobs, one boob,
Yeah.
would not say she has titties.
Yeah.
Titties feel too small.
What's the most aggressive word? What are other words to say boob?
Oh.
Melon, no, jugs.
Melons, jugs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like jugs though. I don't know what it is about jugs.
Man, she's got some great jugs.
Yeah, good.
More than one.
Yeah, I think usually you say something like she's just got a great set of teeth. You know,
What about cans?
cans. Yep, that's a good one.
Well, wait. Yeah.
The
Cans.
cans
Yeah.
on that broad.
Yeah, broad. I think you can combine cans and broad.
That makes sense
Ooh.
together.
There was a weird like turn of the century thing where people were like they used like weird word like cojones were like the balls and like the chitas, like, you know, like
Yeah, they were trying to use like Hawaiian words.
yeah, like foreign types of words.
Guys or
Yeah,
yeah, it was
cabeza. What the cabeza is a head. Cabeza or
now some cabeza.
Yeah, like well, people just
Got cervezas on our chest.
This is the thing. It's the people who don't speak other languages and they do stuff like that, where they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, they got a couple of cabezas.
Cabezas.
Kazum. I think it's something like Kazumba or Gazumba or something. I know. Yeah.
What a master.
Oh, what do they say?
Bazinga.
Yeah.
No.
Something else, but yeah.
All right, we got a video of a woman question a watermelon with her tater. Is that not happening?
She's friggin' doing a Gallagher impression with her buoy.
Are you still looking for it, Bryson?
We.
I don't know if you guys know this Gallagher Smash Pumpkin.
Oh, yabos.
Yeah. No, the Irish guys. Those guys smash pumpkins. Actually, don't know if they're Irish at all.
Pretty sure Gallagher is Irish, just coincidentally, but I mean the name's Irish.
Is smashing pumpkins Irish?
I can't connect to the TV right now. Fortunate.
All right.
All right, well that was
Well, we'll have to watch that later.
We'll watch that in our own private time.
We'll watch that after we take our pants off, which happens after every episode. Where we at? What number? What number? 6?
I don't know.
6.
All right. Story number 6.
Whoa. 7.
Okay. Are you just judging his or both of ours?
Oh, I was focused. I was honed in on Casey's.
All right. Go ahead, Bryson. Story number 7.
Story number 6. During my addiction, I was homeless and starving in Vegas. I hadn't showered in days and had no money, so I went into a late-night Mexican spot and pretended to be deaf. Used hand motions, rubbed my stomach, mimed washing the windows, all to ask if I could clean for food. The cashier and chef whispered, then nodded. A few minutes later, they handed me 3 full bags of burritos, tacos, sepuelas, and a soda. I kept saying thank you, and they waved me off like, you're good. As I was walking out, the chef yelled, "Hey buddy, you forgot your napkins." And without thinking, I turned and said, "What was that?"
He kept up with it the whole time. He's like, oh, "Take you some." Yeah.
Gosh, I felt so bad at first, but that was so funny.
This is one where I believe it all the way until that ending part, but I kind of like that you threw that wrinkle in. I think that wrinkle at the end is fake, but I appreciate it. I think that's well written and it's believable enough to where I can't. So you look at me like I'm crazy, and I say that. I'm like, I think it is fake, but that feels like me making stuff up. That's why it's a good lie. It's just a small enough one. Like you said,
I think it's definitely like a coin toss whether it's. I don't actually think it's.
it's actually perfect though, because like
I don't think it's fake.
that's
Yeah.
perfect crime.
Yeah. I don't think it's
perfect
fake.
crime.
Yeah.
But that is.
Is it 2-on-1 here?
I'm gonna
Do you
say
think it's
perfect
fake?
crime until.
I don't know what to believe. I'm really
Oh.
in the middle.
What are you fence rider?
Well, it's just I've heard stories online similar to that, so I didn't know if inspiration was drawn, or maybe or inspiration was drawn of the idea to do that, and then it actually happened to him.
Oh, you think he made up the whole thing? He didn't even pretend to be deaf?
Oh no, I think possibly he could have, but like drawn inspiration from, like maybe hearing that or something, like thinking of that.
He might have even decided to do it because.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so and I think I mean I don't even know if I should say this kind of stuff. There are multiple people who submit stories about like times they were homeless, and their writing is usually really rough, and a lot of times I just
Wonder why.
I'm like I can't really use this, but this one I did have to clean up the writing a little bit, but I kind of kept the story intact. So that's why I don't think it was fake, because like he didn't tell it like that, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Well, but this one, nonetheless, even if it was, or like even if that last bit was fabricated, I think that story's funny.
That's what I mean. I brought it up
Funny.
Yeah.
to like change my tune on them. I'm like, this person, if it's fake, because I can't prove it.
You're like, that's the right kind
I
of
don't
fake
even know that I
Yeah.
totally believe it. I'm just saying I could see how it could be fake, and it's just a little twist at the end, and I appreciate it because it's done well if they're fake.
It's like this
If
is
it's
a
written
very
great
this
anyway.
is kind of a very believable
It
story.
doesn't matter to me whether this is fake or not. That
Yeah.
point.
Right. Okay.
It's done well.
Do you think the rest of it's real though? Like, could yeah.
Maybe even the whole thing, yeah. I mean, or none of it. It's just, if it's all fake, just a great fabrication.
Yeah. Whenever we get stories from people who are like, "Oh, I used to be homeless," it's always something like that.
I don't know that I would, if I wasn't at least homeless to begin with, I don't know that I'd ever think to start a story with that. So I believe that part, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it was like it's always something like that. When I used to be homeless, there's always like some kind of addiction involved with it too. So that is kind of a common like theme we get. Not really common, but every time we get a homeless story, it's always like, yeah, I got enough room for a hotel room one night, so it was like me and a bunch of dudes in there, and it's like a girl or something like that, and you're like, yeah, okay, like there's a common theme amongst like homeless stories. This was a real downer that I started talking about that. I feel like bring it back, Casey. Say something funny man.
Can I just dance?
Casey, you angled the wrong way.
No, I think he danced for my camera.
I danced
I
to
thought you were
somebody.
dancing for John.
I was just trying to bring the vibe.
No, he was dancing for you / my camera.
Yeah, I was dancing for one of the cameras.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that helped.
I mean, I was a little upset that I didn't get to see any of your,
goodies,
yeah,
Rump in the jump.
baddies,
rump in the junk. Yeah,
rump in the junk.
I sometimes hang sentences to see how Olivia will finish them.
I mean,
So don't jump in.
Olivia is a hanger.
She's
She's hung.
word choice. Her word choice is so strange.
This feels like such an ongoing thing we've got now that Olivia's just got this massive dong. Like,
Yeah, why? How did that become a?
I don't remember that.
you definitely started it.
I know.
I've just hopped on board, but
I know.
You guys are making me
I did
sandwiches
start
now.
on the dong, and then you hopped on after, and now we're both on it.
don't let us like make you feel ashamed of your body. You should let that freak flag fly.
Hey,
Confident, I'm proud of it.
for the audio listeners, I would like to state that Olivia is above average looking female human.
Oh.
That was really big of you.
I think that was meant to be a compliment,
And I don't think she actually has.
sounding not
And
confident.
I don't think she actually has a penis. I'm 97.3% sure, actually.
I'll take the under.
No, I didn't know where that story was ending. I thought you were really slighting me by that. But that was the nicest thing anyone said about me.
I would say
Anyone? You're about to get married. That's the nicest thing anyone said about you?
Olivia is at least
Next question.
definitely slightly below average looking.
I've heard that.
would be average, yeah.
I've heard that too. That one wasn't the nicest thing someone said to me, but I've heard that.
And you're
So
welcome.
I would call you. I would call you above average.
Above average.
I wouldn't say like. I wouldn't say like, wow, no, I think let me just end it there. Why don't I end it there?
Have you seen average? They look okay. And
Average, well, nowadays, the problem is, dude, nowadays average is pretty thick,
I mean, look who you're talking to.
So I guess
Thick.
it just depends if you like thick or not. I'm not a big thick liker. I'm not a big liker. I'm not a big connoisseur of the thick.
I didn't know how to respond to that.
I don't like
This was
to
very.
I don't like to surf my women, Casey.
Olivia, are you down with that thickness?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I have to be.
he is.
I didn't ask you.
Legally, I have to be.
Yeah.
You and your man, you guys have a total of like 0% body fat. So
Oh, her man's like that too.
Oh, you mean body thick?
Her-
Or- I thought you were saying about junk.
She's like, I prefer it to length. I don't know.
I was like, well, we're getting raised.
Can we talking? I don't know. I'm sure there's such thing as too thick. I've never found it, but
Yes, but we fear strong gusts of wind. But where were you going with that, Case?
I'm just saying, like,
we don't go outside when it's windy.
Yeah,
we
we-
can't move to the Midwest.
Oh,
you know how some cultures that like they don't use Christmas trees, they like decorate a pole for like holidays. That's
These two decorate themselves.
yeah, because they're pole shaped.
Yeah.
we have to take. We have to take
It's like I can go
the off
speak with them and they
here.
just go, "What?" And you're like, where'd they go?
Some people dance
turn
on
sideways.
poles. They just dance on each other. Called pole dancing.
So he's a skinny man, but thick where it matters.
Of course.
Well,
I wouldn't be with him if it wasn't.
Wow.
If he wasn't.
Wow. So it does matter? The size does matter then?
what about the most?
Okay,
Why don't you rate your fiance's penis live right now?
To be clear, I want to set this ground rule. We've not established with our significant others that we're going to talk about our sex lives on the show. Maybe we do that before we do that.
I really feel more comfortable pressuring Olivia to do it now.
Right.
Don't
That's
take
true.
it from me, John.
Yeah.
But you guys have to do it.
Talk on here.
No, the question on hand, size matter.
I suppose, what was your question? What about the motion of the ocean?
I mean, answer whatever question you want.
I think if you know what to do with it,
Right, which is what...
that's perfect.
Yeah,
But
because
I don't even have that issue.
all the big guys, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm told.
they haven't had to work.
That makes some sense, I guess.
They even had to work is hard. And they get lazy in other areas. I
Yeah,
feel like.
right. Well, I think that's the thing you tell guys who don't have them. You're like, yeah, no, it's all about how you use it. I'm like, yeah, and they can't use it. They could just do it as well as I could, for sure.
I think I found a way to devise. I found a way to devise a question to ask you something without it having to give away like too many details.
Yeah.
Instead of asking like, what's the biggest or the smallest you've seen? What do you think is the biggest like range from the biggest to the smallest you've seen? Like, what's the biggest?
Are you asking her and are you asking what kind of measurement are you asking? Are you
hard,
What's the biggest? What's the
hard,
difference?
rock hard, 5 inches measurement, base to
Length?
tip. Yeah, length. Base to tip. Yeah.
From smallest to
She
biggest.
seems more like a girl.
And I'm not saying like what the big, because like, yeah, I don't want to out anybody you've been with and be like, they've all been tiny. But I'm like, what's the range from the biggest to the smallest? Was there a difference of like,
Have you seen a micro?
3 or 4 inches?
I've seen one small.
Oh,
Small guy.
Currently.
Was it like oh, oh, look at that. It's like, how they have like have you ever, like they have like the Haagen-Dazs or like the Ben & Jerry's and then they have like the mini ones of it?
like shot glass ones.
Yeah.
That's a good description.
And girls
for
always like those because they're like, oh, that's
versus
so cute.
That's like at least double in size.
No, but I will tell you, the smallest one did know what to do with it. So
How much did you do that?
Get his tongue going.
I was reading something that's like, actually, guys who are small can totally satisfy you. Like, they could do oral, they could use your toys on you. Like, okay, all the things.
That's done by Bob McTuckison.
Yeah.
no, it's probably inch wise, I would say maybe 5 or 6 inches.
Oh,
But off
That's
topic,
the
have
smallest?
you told
No, like the smallest length and then
oh, the range.
range.
That's a huge range.
six?
That's
Yeah.
a huge range.
You've seen a hammer. Or
Well, maybe she's just seen high volume. Maybe there's a lot of volume.
well, either way,
None?
Or she's seen a tiny one.
that range, yeah, you either need to see like a micro, and even then,
Yeah, because that'd be like a 4 to a 9 is a huge range.
no, there are micros below 4.
It was leaning. It was the bigger one. The bigger one was definitely carrying the team.
Can I ask you a question? This is too personal. You don't have to ask, but like, were these ones that you just saw?
No, I partook.
I first
Unless any family members are on here, I'm waiting till marriage.
Yeah.
So funny. And obviously, that higher end guy, that's obviously your fiance.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. No, that one was you. He's the second.
No, I can.
Just kidding.
Keith, I wouldn't do you like that.
She says these things.
I know.
That one I really did.
You walk right into
Like,
them, you know.
I don't think you mean to do any of them.
Okay, John.
Yeah.
Same question.
The biggest range I've seen.
Hard and hard.
I mean, I do see a lot of hard.
Honestly, for any guy though, there's a range even just from your own. Like, there's probably a range of like 2 inches. Honestly, right there.
I think I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think you and I are working with different equipment. There's not a range of 2 inches on mine. There's 2 inches max.
Well,
Total.
that's
2 inches total.
that would be difficult to get a range from there. Yeah, that would be difficult.
My range is small.
You know when you rock hard and it's flush to stretch your body. Like, yeah, you got that range.
Should we do another story? Should we do the next story?
What was
Show it.
it?
Well, where are we?
Where are we? What are we doing?
I can't even remember.
What's the next story?
You got to follow the good tangents, all
I
right?
don't even remember what the prompt was anymore. Who's their biggest you've seen? Is that what it is?
Most embarrassing food stories.
Right. And hot dogs? Is that how do we bring everything back to
Hot dogs.
sex? We're such a
started at a homeless person story eating Mexican food.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
just about to say we're a based podcast.
welcome back to the Mode podcast
Dick mode. Yep.
with John Coyle.
It is. Podcasts are kind of funny like that because I feel like this year it was like, yeah, welcome back. What's up, Jizz Nation? Welcome back to the Mode podcast. This week we got President Trump on the show. Next week the Prime Minister of Great Britain is going to be on. Yeah.
What's up, you dumb sluts? We got the Speaker of the House in this week, talking about the new, protocols for safety, permanent defense.
Okay. Are we on what? Give me the number, Bryson. Sorry.
We're on 7.
All right. Story number 7.
All right, number 7.
Well, hold on.
Whoa.
You got to give Casey a shot here. Story number 7.
Ooh, I liked that one. That one was like a 7.9.
Oh,
7.9.
high mark for the
Which is
still earned.
fourth
I
highest.
don't feel that earned.
Fourth largest penis she's seen.
Whoa, nice.
That one, I forgot I could do decimals. So
Yeah. You just unlocked the whole world. Okay.
When they don't hit a full inch, you have to do it.
Story number 9, Bryce. Or story number 7.
Story number 7.
Please skip 2 stories, Bryce.
Please skip the stories.
Burn 2 stories, move along.
I was waitressing at a pizza spot in Berkeley. One night, I get pulled behind the counter to help with orders. I'm looking for a pen, and without looking up, I ask the next person in line what they like. I hear this soft, polite voice say, "1 slice of cheese to go, please." I look up and see a homeless guy. I start to explain, "We don't sell slices at night." And before I can finish, he screams, "You can suck my d-." Without missing a beat, I turn to my manager, and he goes, "Wow, I guess I'm head waitress now."
She said that.
Oh,
I turn to my manager and say, "Wow, I guess I'm head waitress now."
that was a good.
That is clever. I do think that's her talking about a time she was super witty once, but still, a homeless man yelling at you to suck a stick after you tell him he can't buy pizza by the slice.
Off the bat too, like without missing a beat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, we only sell pizza by the slice at lunchtime. We only sell it by the full pizza. Casey, attention.
I was
Actually,
right
you know what?
in a different place.
We only sell pizza by the slice at lunchtime. We don't sell pizza by the slice at night.
Suck my dick.
Thank you.
I didn't know. I was out of the scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Cheese. All right. We're not doing it again.
I like cheese.
We're not doing it all. Yeah. But that is funny. Just a homeless guy being like, "You can suck my dick."
No, I was sorry. I got carried away thinking. I'm realizing with this format we're doing that the story itself does not matter. How much you can tell a story matters vastly more.
Yep.
And this person didn't know when to end the story. They needed that the story should
The punchline was, "You can suck my
dick."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she wanted to talk about.
She wanted the last word in.
She wanted to talk about the punchline she hit
That's what I
in
mean.
the
It
moment.
made the story worse. Sorry about it. Sorry about it.
I agree. And I also think it's like a
Just for the real,
story about how you're awesome is.
not a good story. Not as good as
Well, just to be clear, any story that makes it into the show is pretty good because we get so many. But
fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so it's still good. It's a great story, and then she brings it maybe back to like really good.
There's something to an economy of words, and if you're
Yeah.
gonna keep going past a certain point, it better do something for the story. And I think all it did was detract from it.
Now she did stay on the theme of dick mode, so we should give her that.
Bonus points for dick mode
Yeah.
for sure, but again, should have ended right there. Very on brand for the show.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
She was sneaky. So it goes, "You can suck my dick." And without missing a beat, I turn to my manager and I go, "Wow, I guess I'm head waitress now."
You know what?
And waitress.
You know what, Bryson? I'm back in. I like that. I like that.
Bryson, thank you
I don't
for the
know.
clarification.
But to be fair, I would like to award Bryson some points because I don't even think that person. I don't know if that's in there as the joke or if that's.
Do you think that when she said it, she said, "I guess I'm head waitress now"?
Their italicized font on head.
No,
Not at all.
I put it there though, so
Did you italicize it?
the submission box they have doesn't have that.
Then I give them no bonus
They
points.
can
So
do
give them- I award all points to Bryson.
They can only do caps. Like that's their only option.
My point stands.
Okay.
Well, if she said that, I feel like she had to have been insinuating. Like she had to have known that way. Because I mean, why would you say that otherwise?
Okay, then to me, points for her being witty in that moment. That's a pretty witty comeback.
Yeah.
Okay, at the very least, though, I'm going to give him his flowers because we didn't catch it first time around, and Bryson made sure that we did.
We didn't catch it first time around, and I've read the story before.
I've now counted that person as the scorer, but I am granting Bryson the assist.
Yeah, like it's like a good assist
It
too.
was John Stockton,
It was-
Karl Malone, mailman,
Yeah.
hammering home with his 13-inch into a 13-year. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
13-year relationship with his wife.
Bryson, story number 8.
No, you don't get to. You don't get to.
I lost control.
I get to say when the stories come.
My
Trying
fault.
to cover up.
My fault. I was scrambling. I was doing a scramble drill.
He's trying to cover up. That wasn't a very bad one. You're like, he's trying to cover up. Oh no, they're gonna get me for this one. I'm like, cover up.
No, you were.
We never get you for covering up.
No, you said the. I don't tell you when to come or something.
Oh, I decide when the
what it
stories
was.
come. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
I do like that you're like, anytime I hear the word come, I should just be aware of that.
that's. I feel like we're a really bad influence on Olivia. I've always thought of Olivia as pretty.
You go home and your like man is just like, you gotta just not hang out with me for a day.
Yeah, it's like,
You're
a cool down period.
I come back and I'm a grown man.
Yeah,
You know, beer.
and a full-grown beard too.
All right, you guys ready? Story number 9. Story number 9.
No.
Cool one. 4.
Okay,
If you have to say it's a cool one, it's not a cool one.
Yeah.
one. Yeah, she goes cool, and then she says 4. One of the lowest scores you've ever gotten.
I know. I think it's
You've ever gotten lower than a 4.
I won't make you feel bad about
I
yourself.
do like that that's the established baseline, though. I don't think she'll go below 4. I think she's too nice.
Yeah.
It seems hard to get her above an 8.
Unless there's a real clunker.
I don't have it in me. Too nice.
Seems hard to get her above an 8 as well. I'm just. That wasn't actually an entendre. I'm just saying it's the range.
I thought we were back in inches again.
No.
Speaking of 8s,
Yeah. Is this 8?
Oh, yeah.
this is 8.
Okay. It is.
Ew.
I deep-throated a banana while driving.
Olivia, I thought you didn't submit a story.
That was quick because you didn't know that was coming. Props to Casey.
A policeman saw it, pulled me over. He told me it was illegal to eat while driving. I asked what I ate, and he answered, a banana. I asked if he had proof, and he asked for the banana. I told him I didn't have a banana. He asked for the peel, and I said there wasn't one. He asked to search the vehicle, and I said for an invisible banana and peel. I let him due to the fact my friend had dropped the peel out the window before stopping the vehicle. He was very confused and told me to watch out when swallowing a whole banana as I could choke.
So
I don't think this is a woman who's going to choke on a full banana.
well, I don't know any guy who uses the term deep throat a banana though. Actually, no, that makes a lot of sense.
I guess I am assuming it's a woman. I sometimes don't remember which details have changed, but I am assuming this is a woman. But like, if the cop's like, hey, well, just watch out when you're eating a full banana because you could choke on that. She's like, I'm not going to choke, dude. I already know.
I already know.
You think I'm going to choke on a
I
banana?
had many a ball slap me in the chin.
I could get a double banana in there and be fine.
Yeah.
Let me show you now.
My name isn't Olivia.
Yeah. That cop was hoping to find a banana or peel, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
that's an $800 ticket unless we can work something out.
So you have to tell me that again. Anything. Casey,
What kind of
before.
what kind of stuff will you do?
Oh my gosh, that was too good.
Is it? Is that good? I don't even know.
What kind of stuff will you do?
I'll do whatever you want, Daddy.
Maybe you could go back into the cruiser and talk about it.
I'll cruise you.
I don't even know.
No, I've got a sexual move of cruising.
Oh my God.
I mean, not sexual. It's a very serious thing. I'm gonna need to handcuff you and put you in the back. Of the
I've
car.
seen a range of 8 inches before.
That's a big rate.
Oh, never
I
mind.
think
Make that 9
I
now.
never
The
know.
one looks like a 1-incher.
Think I'm just gonna. No, look. I'm just gonna write you the ticket. I'm just gonna write you the ticket now.
There is no way this guy pulled this person over because of the reason he said.
Yeah,
I know.
This is just
It's not illegal to eat while you're driving in any state. I can't believe that.
And if the full banana's gone by the time issue's over, how did he not see the banana peel they tossed out the window?
He goes, "Hey, be careful when you swallow a whole banana. You could choke on that." But when he pulls her over, he goes, Well, you got the banana on you? You already saw it go down my throat, buddy.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to I don't always take the gimmies, but I got to point out the obvious. This cop asked to search the car, and for the the outside of the banana, it's like the cop was asking for their key and peel. That was such a you style joke.
Me?
Yeah, not funny. And
Yeah.
I would have let you have it, but it just was there, and I didn't think you were going to take it. So
No, I didn't even think of it.
yeah, well,
Maybe we're switching spots.
I don't think so. I like to be traditionally funny, make people laugh,
Right.
loud.
Whereas
I'm more like, isn't
Whereas
that,
I'm more like to just talk about how I have a small dick a lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
you work with what you got, and that's just what you do.
I think that the cop was just looking for some reason to be able to,
Come.
right, to be able to be like, well, it looks like you're going to be in trouble, lady.
Yeah, no, that was a good cop impression, of that cop, not like every cop. Sorry, police officers, you're not all like that, but that guy's like that.
Yeah.
If you pull over, especially if it is a lady, if it's a guy, all of a sudden I don't know what's going on.
If it's a guy, he's like, oh, that was nice. I like that.
Yeah, the reasoning for pulling her over, I'm like, you just a penis-shaped object go into a woman's mouth, and you had control, and you abused that power, and that's just what happened. And we've all been there. I mean, not there.
I think we've all been there, yeah.
Yeah, Olivia's been there
Deep throwing banana.
3 or 4 times this week.
In it's illegal. He pulled her over and said it's illegal to eat. Let me see if I know where.
Yeah.
Could there be a state where that's true?
Well, you know what? I know this person's state.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this.
It's actually illegal to eat and drive in Washington.
I was gonna say.
No way. In the state we're in right now,
Not allowed to.
It might be true, but
I always down the banana in one.
this really was your story, wasn't it?
In this person's state, there's no law specifically banning eating while driving currently.
Does it say on here whether it was male or female?
Yeah, I just looked.
I mean, you can probably tell by the name. I know what it says if they're male or female.
No, it doesn't, but I can usually tell by the name.
Well, that's assuming.
This was a woman.
Oh.
So
It makes sense.
her and her friend was in the car with her. When you're in a car with your friends, do you just regularly deep throat bananas?
This makes more
Or is
sense.
that just the way you eat them now?
With everything said and all the lies that I've been told here, I can't tell you one time I have while I've been driving.
No, this makes way more sense.
What?
This is just girls being girls.
They're just being funny with you, being silly with each other.
They were. If I was in if I had friends,
If I had a friend or two.
a friend and a banana,
Take that banana in your mouth.
me and Casey cruising down the highway.
Oh my god.
Sounds.
You can't fit this whole thing.
I know you can't have this whole thing in your mouth. Yeah. It feels a lot like the.
This is too much for me even.
Yeah.
I don't know how to stop.
Where else were you sticking it in that bit?
Oh, under my armpit.
Yeah.
Just holding it right there.
I do like a little armpit action, or knee pit. Knee pit's nice. You should try the knee pit.
I mean, I've never called it that, but
You should try it sometime though.
uh,
It's a little.
are you free later?
Yeah, a little. It's a KP job, a KPJ. It's a knee pit job.
Interesting.
Yeah, you gotta ask. It's too expensive.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that maybe it's just girls being silly.
I'm gonna chalk it up.
Or guys chalk it up to the girls being silly, and
I
the
don't know what
and-
girls doing there, dude.
police officer being like, I mean, look, I'm gonna. What are you gonna do? Not shoot your shot? You're gonna shoot your shot?
Does anybody not believe this one?
No, it's pretty believable. I think it feels a lot like what was the thing where you could, it was like a candy if you could unwrap it in your mouth and you're a good kisser. Do you remember this?
Oh, tie a cherry stem in your mouth.
Well,
Right. Yeah. Yep. That's it.
Oh yeah, it can't be Hershey's Kiss. Everyone with feelings would lose their mind.
Not a lot of kids.
God, can you imagine? Oh, I'm really comfortable now.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Tie a cherry stem. It feels a lot like that.
Starburst is the other one.
Yeah. Unwrap a Starburst in your mouth.
And this thing
Really?
glued down those edges.
Yeah. You got to use your teeth a lot. Now that I'm thinking about that, it does not make you a good kisser at all. There's a lot of teeth involved.
I was gonna say.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta use your teeth as an edge. You're playing it out in your head. You're like, so I'd pull up the fold like that.
No, the cherry stem people are freaks though. That's weird.
That is crazy.
I
So
can do that.
that's what,
No, you can't.
I can and I have.
and it sounds like you're the kind of person who would deep throat a banana while driving down the highway.
It does make you sound more like that.
You totally seem like the type. The more that I think about it.
with a range of 5 inches.
Well, hold on.
And that's the thing. I think the main takeaway from this episode.
5 or 6.
Or 6.
It was baffling, and it was dark.
Half of a foot? Half a foot is a full dick, by the way. And that is too much of a range. Not too much.
Range
Like,
of penises.
Crazy.
The range of penis sizes you've seen is a whole penis size.
it's a whole respectable penis. Real respectable.
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm curious about the ranges of girth. The measurements on that are harder to.
I feel pretty confident you haven't seen one under like at least 1.5 inches. That's pretty tiny. So that means you would have seen something like nearing 7.5. Which is, I mean, that's not like
You
too
think
crazy.
you know one under 1.5 inches?
No, I think the bigger one was just bigger.
More than 7.5.
I think her low end's probably 3 or something like
Yeah,
that.
so
3 or
like-
4.
See, it's just in my mind.
Guesstimate.
This is crazy.
I've got a pretty crazy statistic for you guys.
I don't know.
Bryce has got a crazy
Listen, go
statistic for us.
The average erect circumference is around 4.5 inches.
Circumference is around it.
Yeah. That's like the girth. That's how you'd measure the girth.
Yeah, but we're talking length here.
Yeah, we are. We're talking like 4.5 inches around it. So like
It gets real wild. You need like a string to measure that.
That's a little bit smaller than a soda can.
No, dude. No. No.
yeah.
No.
Shiz, that's insane.
Around. Yeah, it's
A soda can.
It's hard to.
Oh, circumference.
You need
Yeah.
like a string to envision that. Like,
Yeah.
because you'd have to like. You need something that has
I want
the ability to move. Like,
to go back to your predicting. You're like, let me see. It was like,
Let me see.
and then you put your fingers a length apart.
yeah, like
And
a
I would have never imagined possible.
fucking tiger musket.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Just out there like an angler holding up a big like.
I will say that one time we were like I was
On one knee, like when there's like fucking hips and stuff, just like out of frame.
Or something.
Obviously, these are very dark
yeah.
hips. If it was like
They're dark.
dark out, you probably wouldn't even see them.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, no.
Whoa!
Wow.
I know it was
A white? He was a white?
It was white.
I was a Caucasian.
It was white.
The fucking Caucasian.
All right, let's
Yeah, you
let's
definitely
do
didn't put the Asian in it.
this. No. So it reminds me of a story that one time, like Casey was trying to be like, I don't think I'm very long, but I think I'm I think I'm thick. Right? This was a long time ago. You were telling me this, and then you went to the cabinet in this house we were in, and you were like, let's see, and you grabbed a soup can, and I'm like, this thing, the reason that you even thought to grab a soup can, that you're like, let's see, no, that's not quite right. I'm like, whoa, I would have looked at that and been like, nope.
No.
I don't. You go hard at the little dick jokes on yourself.
Right.
I don't do that necessarily, but I don't do the opposite either. I just kind of like let
You
it.
just say, I think it might be like a soup can in circumference.
You
Are
said
we talking Campbell's or?
It was like one of those like green giant like green beans cans.
well.
It would be like that in my hand.
I want to anchor this in my defense to say, like, first of all, girth isn't cool to brag.
Right.
about.
No, girth's not cool to brag about, but I think girth is the better thing to have. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a poll that could be done.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like unanimous, but
From the professional
appreciate
women
it.
I've talked to, I think more often than not it's girls.
I appreciate you're hyping me up a little. But I will say, I mean, the first thing when you're looking to compare a cylindrical object, you're looking for cylindrical objects, and that was like the
Right.
closest. It's not the size of a soup can. I do think the way that ended was I found a Red Bull can, and I was like, this is much closer, which is true.
Okay.
And still, I feel pretty good about that. And that's not even that's pretty.
So, do you have any pencils in here?
A Red Bull can is
That seems about right.
there's a little.
That's good.
Yeah, that's right.
The
I mean,
camera
there's way
lens.
too many fingers. It's more like that.
I mean, your initial assessment is absolutely true. I think probably for myself, and just TMI, but like average length ish is probably realistic, and yeah, probably above average girth is probably doing all right in that department. I mean, if you look at my body, doesn't that just read like
Basically,
probably
you're
not crazy long?
right.
There's no way there's not an extremity on my body that's thin.
I put a
What
lot of
areas
thought
in-
towards this, Casey.
I thought about this a lot.
Yeah,
She's like, based on my sample size, which is not insignificant.
I have a hard time finding.
I predict that you are exactly this circumference and this length, and then she just gets it.
What if you? What if you were like
You're like one of those carnival age guesses.
Yes.
I'm setting up a boost this year.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many jelly beans are in that jar, but 4.5-inch circumference, 7.2 in length. Pretty confident on that.
All right.
And are you a Pisces by any chance? I feel like getting some major Pisces dick energy.
Do that.
Here.
Best story of the day. We're gonna go back to all the way to story number 1. Alligator tastes like children.
Almost like we didn't need to hear any more stories.
I know.
That one. We could have just talk about dicks the whole time. Freeform.
Congrats to Peggy from Dallas, Texas.
Peggy?
Alligator tastes like children. Peggy.
Peggy.
Peggy
would be somewhere
Pegster.
A lot of
where they might sell alligators or
dicks.
I mean, she's in Dallas now, but it was in Florida. She said.
flow ride.
Guys, I think this might have been the
This was the dickiest episode.
dick heaviest episode we've had.
Yep, heavy dick on this one.
Yeah. No light dicks allowed.
No way.
You know what would be funny? This maybe is a sketch in the future, and I should just get it down. Is like, you know how like roller coasters have like for kids, there's like a sign like you must be this tall to ride. What if at orgies they had a similar thing, like started at the waist going down and be like it must hang
Easy. How do you know they don't?
far. What?
How do you know they don't?
Oh, I already know they do, and I'm just trying to like send out the vibe here. Like anybody in
Hold on, when you show up to the orgy,
these acres, first of all.
when you show up to the orgy, you're not already rocked up?
Well, I mean, I think it would make people have to be. That we're really getting down to like who really wants to be here
Yeah.
and who's just here to
No, yeah,
who's
okay.
here to make friends.
So like if you got an upward pointer, you'd have to just angle yourself up and do like a planet.
You have to stand on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the head has to go downward.
Round.
Yeah.
That's how you weed out the freaks like you.
Yeah.
Like, you get this guy out of here.
Short, shriveled noise to
Well, that's been dick mode.
the one.
Welcome back to Dick Mode.
Congrats to Peggy from Dallas, Texas. You won $200 if we use the story. Yeah,
D-Town.
from Dallas. Yeah.
I mean, they call it something like that. Big D, I think. Is what they call it.
EFW.
I think they call it the Big D.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Houston H-Town. I know it's not D-Town, but I think they call it the Big D.
I've never once heard that. It's the first time I'm hearing it.
Keep talking, and I will verify this.
I'm trying to do the outro.
I'm slowing it down on purpose now.
Yeah, congrats. Send me an email, john@eatroyo.com. I will get you your winnings. And if I use your story at all, you also won something, send me an email at the same place, john@eatroyo.com. If you want to get in on a future episode, there is a link in the description or in the first comment. And Casey wants everybody to know that Dallas is known as the Big D. Bye.
Suck my Dallas. Call back to the story.
We went real low, bro.